Hello, and welcome to Whisper Tales. Tonight, I invite you to close your eyes, take a deep breath, and prepare to embark on a journey into the extraordinary world of a woman who forever changed the course of science. This evening, we'll delve into the life of Marie Curie, a name that resonates with courage, perseverance, and an unquenchable thirst for knowledge. As you settle into this peaceful moment, let your mind wander back to the year 1867. Imagine the cold winds sweeping through the streets of Warsaw, where snow gently falls on a small, humble home. Inside, a young girl dreams of a future filled with discovery. This girl, who would one day become the first woman to win a Nobel Prize, is Marie Curie. But at this moment, she is simply a curious child, surrounded by the love and wisdom of her parents in a world where science is both a passion and a path to freedom. Now, picture yourself traveling with Marie to Paris, the city of light and learning. In this vibrant city, where the echoes of bustling cafes and the grandeur of the Sorbonne University fill the air, Marie's love for science deepens. Paris offers her a fresh start, a place where she will find not only knowledge but also love and friendship. This city will become the backdrop for her groundbreaking work and the many trials she will face. But Marie's story is not just one of triumph, it is also a tale of resilience in the face of adversity. Together, we will walk with her through the challenges and losses that marked her journey. We will witness her unwavering determination as she breaks through the societal barriers of her time, carving out a place for herself in a world dominated by men. Her legacy, rooted in these struggles and victories, continues to inspire scientists and dreamers alike. So, as we begin this tranquil exploration of Marie Curie's life, let go of your daily worries and let this story soothe your mind. Her journey is more than just a chapter in history, it is a beacon of hope and inspiration. If you're ready to step into her world, let's begin. Close your eyes and imagine the soft glow of candlelight flickering in a small, cozy room in Warsaw. The year is 1867, and outside, the winter winds are whispering through the narrow streets, carrying with them the chill of a Polish winter. But inside this humble home, there is warmth, a warmth that comes not only from the fire, but from the love that fills the air. This is where our story begins, in a house full of books, ideas, and dreams. Marie Curie, born Maria Sklodowska, was the youngest of 5 children in the Sklodowska family. Her father, the Ladislaw, was a man of great intellect and passion for learning. He was a teacher of mathematics and physics, subjects that would later become the cornerstone of Marie's own life. The Ladislaw was a man of principle, deeply committed to educating his children despite the financial hardships that often plagued the family. He filled their home with books, maps, and instruments, turning their modest living room into a sanctuary of knowledge. Marie's mother, Bronislawa, was a woman of grace and strength. She had been a headmistress at a prestigious boarding school for girls, a position of great responsibility, but she had left her career to devote herself entirely to her family. Bronislawa was a source of unconditional love and wisdom in Marie's life, nurturing her children with a gentle hand and a kind heart. Despite the hardships they faced, Bronislawa instilled in her children a sense of dignity, resilience, and an unyielding pursuit of education. The Sklodowska family lived modestly. Their home was not grand, but it was filled with the richness of intellectual curiosity and the warmth of familial bonds. Marie's older siblings, Zosia, Joseph, Bronislawa, and Hella, were her closest companions, and they shared with her not only their parents' love but also their passion for learning. They were a tight-knit family, bound together by the challenges they faced and the dreams they nurtured. Marie was a bright and curious child, always eager to learn and explore. Her father's influence was profound. He would often engage his children in discussions about science, history, and the world beyond their small home. The Ladislaw's dedication to his children's education was unwavering, even in the face of adversity. When the Russian authorities, who controlled Poland at the time, removed scientific equipment from schools to suppress Polish education, the Ladislaw secretly brought the remaining instruments home. These instruments became Marie's first tools for scientific exploration, sparking a passion that would one day change the world. But life was not without its sorrows. When Marie was just 10 years old, tragedy struck the Sklodowska family. Her sister Zosia, to whom she was particularly close, died of typhus, a loss that deeply affected the young Marie. Just 2 years later, her mother, Bronislawa, passed away from tuberculosis, leaving a void in Marie's heart that would never fully heal. These early losses shaped Marie's character, instilling in her a profound sense of determination and resilience. Despite these hardships, Marie found solace in her studies. She excelled in school, where her sharp intellect and insatiable curiosity set her apart from her peers. Her father, recognizing her extraordinary potential, encouraged her to pursue her education, even though the path for a young woman in science was fraught with obstacles. In those days, higher education for women was not readily accessible in Poland, but Marie's spirit was unbreakable. She was determined to continue her studies, no matter the cost. The years passed, and the young girl from Warsaw grew into a determined young woman, her heart still heavy with the losses she had endured, but her mind more focused than ever. She dreamed of a world where she could study, explore, and contribute to the vast field of science. But to achieve this dream, she would have to leave her beloved homeland and family behind. So, as you lay here, drifting closer to sleep, imagine a young Marie, her heart full of hope and her mind brimming with ideas. Picture her in that small, warm home in Warsaw, surrounded by the memories of her family, the love that shaped her, and the early experiences that would guide her on a path to greatness. Her journey was just beginning, and it would take her to places she could never have imagined. And now, as you feel the weight of the day lifting from your shoulders, let Marie's story soothe your mind and inspire your dreams. For even in the face of loss and adversity, she found the strength to follow her passion, and in doing so, she changed the world. Now, as you continue to rest in the quiet comfort of your space, let your thoughts drift to a bustling city far from the quiet streets of Warsaw, a city where knowledge flows as freely as the Seine river that winds through it. We're journeying to Paris, the city of light, where Marie's pursuit of education would truly begin. The year was 1891, and Marie was just 24 years old. She had made a difficult decision, one that required leaving behind her beloved family and homeland. With a heart full of both excitement and trepidation, she boarded a train that would take her from Warsaw to Paris, a city where the brightest minds of the time were converging. It was here, in this vibrant and electric atmosphere, that Marie would immerse herself in the world of science. Paris was a world away from the modest home in Warsaw where Marie had grown up. The streets were alive with the energy of a city that never slept, filled with the sounds of conversation, laughter, and the clatter of horse-drawn carriages. The towering buildings, grand boulevards, and bustling cafes created a stark contrast to the quiet, book-filled rooms of her childhood. But for Marie, this city represented something far more important than its physical beauty. It was a place where her dreams could take flight. Marie had come to Paris to study at the Sorbonne, one of the most prestigious universities in the world. The Sorbonne was a place where the pursuit of knowledge was revered above all else, and it was here that Marie would find her true calling. But her journey was not an easy one. The challenges she faced were immense, especially for a young woman in a male-dominated field. She arrived in Paris with very little money and had to balance her studies with the need to support herself. To make ends meet, she took on tutoring jobs and lived in a small, unheated attic room where the cold Parisian winters would seep through the walls. But Marie's resolve was unshakable. She immersed herself in her studies with a fervor that few could match. The hours were long and the work was grueling, but Marie found joy in every discovery, every problem solved. In the lecture halls of the Sorbonne, she listened intently as the great scientific minds of the time shared their knowledge. She spent countless hours in the library, poring over textbooks and scientific papers, absorbing every bit of information she could find. Her passion for science was all-consuming, and it was this passion that fueled her through the hardships. In those early days at the Sorbonne, Marie often found herself among the few women in her classes, sometimes the only one. The university was not a welcoming place for women, and the pressures of being a female student in such a rigorous environment were intense. But Marie did not waver. She knew that to succeed, she would have to work harder and be more determined than her male counterparts, and that is exactly what she did. Her dedication did not go unnoticed. She quickly rose to the top of her class, earning the respect of her professors and peers alike. But Marie's journey was not just about academic success. Paris was a place of personal growth as well. It was here that she found a community of like-minded individuals, people who shared her passion for science and her belief in the power of education. Among them was Marie Curie, a physicist whose work had already made significant contributions to the field. When Marie and Pierre met, it was as if two halves of a whole had come together. Their shared love for science and discovery would soon blossom into something more profound, a partnership that would change the course of both their lives and the world. As you lie here, breathing softly in the quiet of the night, imagine Marie in those early days in Paris. Picture her walking along the banks of the Seine, the cold wind whipping through her hair as she makes her way to the university. Imagine her in the lecture halls, surrounded by the warmth of knowledge and the thrill of discovery. This was a time of growth, of challenge, and of triumph, a time when Marie began to truly realize the potential that lay within her. Her journey was far from over, but the foundations were being laid for the extraordinary life that was to come. The young woman from Warsaw was no longer just a student, she was becoming a pioneer, a trailblazer in a field that had been largely inaccessible to women. And as you let this story wash over you, let it inspire your dreams, knowing that every great journey begins with a single step and that perseverance in the face of adversity can lead to the most incredible discoveries. Now, as you continue to relax and let the gentle whispers of this story guide you, imagine Marie Curie, now no longer the young student but a determined scientist on the brink of one of the greatest discoveries of the 20th century. The year is 1896, and Marie's life is about to take a turn that will not only change her destiny but also alter the course of science forever. It all began with a simple question, a curiosity sparked by the recent discovery of X-rays by Wilhelm Röntgen and the mysterious uranic rays observed by Henri Becquerel. These rays, emitted by uranium salts, were a puzzle that intrigued Marie. She was fascinated by the idea that certain materials could emit energy without any apparent external source. What was the nature of this energy? Where did it come from? And how could it be measured and understood? Marie decided to dedicate herself to studying these mysterious rays. She chose this topic for her doctoral thesis, a bold and ambitious move for a young scientist at the time, especially for a woman. With limited resources and the most basic of laboratory conditions, Marie began her experiments in a makeshift lab provided by the School of Physics and Chemistry in Paris. It was here, in this unassuming space, that the world of science would witness a revolution. Marie's approach was methodical and meticulous. She hypothesized that the energy emitted by uranium salts was not the result of a chemical reaction but was instead something intrinsic to the uranium itself, a property of the atoms that made up the material. To test her hypothesis, she developed new techniques to measure the intensity of the rays emitted by different materials. Using a device called an electrometer, which had been designed by her husband Pierre and his brother Jacques, Marie carefully measured the electrical conductivity of air around various samples. As she worked, Marie discovered something extraordinary. She found that the intensity of the radiation was directly proportional to the amount of uranium present in the sample, confirming that the radiation was indeed an atomic property. But her research didn't stop there. Marie extended her investigations to other elements, and in doing so, she made a groundbreaking discovery: thorium, like uranium, also emitted these mysterious rays. This led her to coin a new term for this phenomenon: radioactivity. But perhaps the most remarkable discovery came when Marie decided to examine a mineral called pitchblende, a substance that was known to contain uranium. She found that pitchblende was far more radioactive than pure uranium itself. This puzzled her. How could this be? The answer, she believed, was that pitchblende must contain another, unknown element that was even more radioactive than uranium. Driven by this hypothesis, Marie embarked on the painstaking task of isolating this new element. It was an arduous process, involving the crushing of tons of pitchblende, dissolving it in acid, and carefully separating the various components to isolate the radioactive material. The work was physically demanding and dangerous, but Marie was undeterred. Day after day, she toiled in the lab, her determination never wavering. Finally, after months of laborious work, Marie succeeded in isolating not just one, but two new elements. The first, which she named polonium in honor of her native Poland, was highly radioactive. The second, even more radioactive, was named radium. These discoveries were nothing short of revolutionary. Marie had uncovered elements that were far more radioactive than anything previously known, and her work opened up an entirely new field of scientific research. The implications of Marie's discoveries were profound. Radioactivity, as she had demonstrated, was a property of matter at the atomic level, and it challenged the very foundations of physics and chemistry. Her work provided crucial insights into the structure of the atom, laying the groundwork for the development of atomic theory and, ultimately, the field of nuclear physics. As you imagine Marie in her lab, surrounded by test tubes, beakers, and the soft glow of her experiments, consider the significance of her work. In those moments, she was not just uncovering the secrets of the elements, she was unlocking the mysteries of the universe itself. Her discoveries would lead to advances in medicine, energy, and our understanding of the fundamental forces that govern the natural world. But Marie's work came at a great personal cost. The exposure to high levels of radiation, which at the time was not fully understood, took a toll on her health. The very elements she had discovered, which emitted the beautiful, eerie glow of radioactivity, were also slowly poisoning her. Yet, She pressed on, driven by a passion for discovery that outweighed her own well-being. Now, as you feel the calmness of the night settle around you, let Marie's story inspire a sense of wonder and awe. She was a pioneer, a trailblazer in a field that was both exhilarating and perilous. And as you drift into sleep, remember that it was her courage, her relentless pursuit of knowledge, that lit the way for future generations of scientists. As you continue to relax and let your mind wander through the corridors of history, imagine a time when two extraordinary minds converged, creating a partnership that would not only shape the course of their lives, but also leave an indelible mark on the world of science. This is the story of Marie and Pierre Curie, a partnership founded on mutual respect, shared passion, and an unyielding commitment to discovery. Marie's journey in Paris had already been filled with challenges and triumphs. She had established herself as a promising scientist, driven by a relentless curiosity about the mysteries of the natural world. Yet, it was in 1894 that her life would take a significant turn, one that would intertwine her fate with that of a man whose intellect and dedication matched her own. Pierre Curie was already an established physicist when he met Marie. He had made significant contributions to the study of magnetism and was well respected in scientific circles. But despite his accomplishments, Pierre was known for his humble demeanor and his preference for the solitude of the laboratory over the spotlight. His work, like Marie's, was driven by a deep passion for understanding the fundamental laws of nature. Their meeting was fortuitous, facilitated by a colleague who believed that Pierre and Marie would find much in common. From the moment they met, there was a spark, a meeting of minds that transcended the ordinary. Pierre was immediately struck by Marie's intelligence and determination, while Marie admired Pierre's dedication and the clarity of his scientific vision. It wasn't long before their mutual respect blossomed into something more, a partnership that would change the landscape of science forever. In the early days of their relationship, Marie and Pierre found joy in sharing their ideas and discussing their research. They would spend hours in deep conversation, exploring the intricacies of physics and chemistry, and dreaming of the discoveries yet to be made. It was clear that they complemented each other perfectly. Pierre's theoretical expertise and Marie's experimental precision created a synergy that would prove to be extraordinarily powerful. Their collaboration soon extended beyond conversation. In 1895, Marie and Pierre were married, and their partnership became both personal and professional. Their wedding was a simple affair, reflecting their shared values of humility and dedication to their work. Instead of lavish gifts, they asked for a bicycle, which they used to explore the countryside together, a rare escape from the demands of their research. In the laboratory, Marie and Pierre worked side by side, driven by a shared goal to uncover the secrets of the universe. Their work was grueling, often involving long hours in less than ideal conditions. The laboratory they shared was modest, with basic equipment and little in the way of comforts. Yet, for Marie and Pierre, it was a sanctuary, a place where they could focus entirely on their pursuit of knowledge. Their most significant collaboration came in the form of their research on radioactivity, a field that Marie had already begun to explore before their marriage. Pierre, fascinated by Marie's work, put aside his own research on magnetism to join her in this new and exciting endeavor. Together, they embarked on the task of isolating the elements that Marie had discovered in pitchblende, an effort that required immense physical and mental endurance. The process was painstaking and involved handling large quantities of pitchblende, a mineral from which they sought to extract tiny amounts of the new elements. Day after day, Marie and Pierre labored in their lab, dissolving, filtering, and precipitating the mineral, carefully measuring the radioactive emissions of each fraction. It was a task that demanded precision, patience, and a deep understanding of both chemistry and physics, qualities that both Marie and Pierre possessed in abundance. Their collaboration was not just a meeting of minds, but also a blending of hearts. Marie and Pierre supported each other in every aspect of their work, sharing not only the successes but also the frustrations and setbacks that came with such groundbreaking research. They celebrate each discovery together, from the first isolation of polonium to the successful extraction of radium. Their joy was not just in the achievements themselves, but in the knowledge that they had accomplished them together. The discovery of radium, in particular, was a monumental achievement. This highly radioactive element, which glowed with a faint blue light, was more than just a scientific curiosity. It was a gateway to understanding the very fabric of the universe. For their work on radioactivity, Marie and Pierre were awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1903, an honor they shared with Henri Becquerel. It was a moment of triumph, not just for the Curies, but for science itself. Yet, despite their success, Marie and Pierre remained true to their values. They refused to patent their discoveries, believing that scientific knowledge should be shared freely for the benefit of humanity. Their partnership was built on a foundation of humility, integrity, and a deep commitment to the greater good, a partnership that would inspire generations of scientists to come. As you imagine the Curies working side by side, surrounded by the quiet hum of their laboratory, let their story remind you of the power of collaboration, of how two minds working together can achieve what might seem impossible alone. Marie and Pierre Curie's partnership was a testament to the strength of unity in pursuit of a common goal, and as you drift into a peaceful sleep, let their legacy inspire you to cherish the partnerships in your own life. As you settle deeper into the calm of the night, let your mind wander to a time when the world was not as open, not as welcoming, to women who dared to dream beyond the confines of societal expectations. Marie Curie, despite her extraordinary intellect and groundbreaking discoveries, faced a world that often seemed determined to hold her back. Her story is not only one of scientific triumph, but also of relentless struggle against the barriers that society placed in her path. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, the world of science was overwhelmingly male-dominated. Universities, laboratories, and scientific institutions were places where women were rarely seen and even less frequently heard. For a woman to succeed in this world, she had to possess not only exceptional talent but also an unyielding will to overcome the prejudice and discrimination that were ingrained in the very fabric of society. Marie's journey in science began at a time when women were often denied access to higher education. In her native Poland, under Russian rule, the educational opportunities for women were severely limited. Despite her brilliance, Marie could not attend the official university in Warsaw simply because she was a woman. Instead, she sought knowledge in the clandestine, informal floating university, a secret institution that defied the authorities by educating young Polish men and women in science, literature, and the arts. But even this was not enough to satisfy Marie's hunger for learning. To pursue her passion for science, she made the difficult decision to leave her family and homeland behind, traveling to Paris, where the doors of the Sorbonne were open to women, though only just. When Marie arrived in Paris, she found herself in an environment where she was constantly reminded of her outsider status. She was not only a woman in a field dominated by men, but also a foreigner in a country that often looked down on those from other nations. At the Sorbonne, Marie was one of only a few women among the sea of male students. the challenges she faced were immense. Her male peers often underestimated her abilities, and she had to work twice as hard to prove herself in an academic environment that was not designed to accommodate women. The pressure was relentless, but Marie met it with quiet determination, excelling in her studies and earning her degree in physics with top honors. Even after her marriage to Pierre Curie and her subsequent scientific achievements, Marie continued to face significant societal barriers. Her work on radioactivity, though groundbreaking, was often overshadowed by the achievements of her male colleagues. The scientific community, dominated by men, was slow to recognize the significance of her contributions. When Marie and Pierre were nominated for the Nobel Prize in Physics, it was initially suggested that only Pierre and Henri Becquerel should be recognized. It was Pierre who insisted that Marie's name be included, acknowledging that the work had been a true partnership. Yet, the Nobel Prize did not shield Marie from the harsh judgment of society. In the years following Pierre's tragic death in 1906, Marie was left to navigate the scientific world alone. As a widow and a mother, she had to balance her responsibilities with her relentless drive to continue her research. But her personal life soon became the target of scandal and controversy. When it was revealed that she had developed a close relationship with Paul Langevin, a fellow scientist who was separated but still legally married, the press unleashed a torrent of criticism. Marie was vilified in the media, portrayed as a foreign temptress who had led a married man astray. The public outcry was fierce, and the scandal threatened to overshadow her scientific accomplishments. In 1911, just as she was about to be awarded her second Nobel Prize, this time in chemistry, Marie was advised by the Nobel Committee to decline the award and avoid attending the ceremony. They feared that the scandal would bring disgrace to the prestigious award. But Marie, ever courageous, refused to let societal pressures dictate her actions. She attended the ceremony in Stockholm and accepted the prize with dignity, her head held high. Through all of these challenges, Marie remained steadfast in her commitment to science. She refused to be defined by the limitations that society tried to impose on her. Instead, she pushed forward, breaking down barriers and opening doors for future generations of women in science. Her resilience in the face of adversity is a testament to her character, a reminder that true greatness often comes not just from talent but from the courage to persist when the world seems determined to hold you back. As you lie here, feeling the gentle embrace of the night, let Marie's story remind you of the strength that lies within each of us, the strength to rise above the challenges we face, to persevere in the face of adversity, and to continue moving forward even when the path ahead is uncertain. Marie Curie's life was a testament to this strength, and her legacy continues to inspire those who dare to dream beyond the boundaries of what society deems possible. As you relax and let your mind drift, imagine the quiet, intimate moments of a life touched not only by incredible achievements but also by profound sorrow. Marie Curie, despite her groundbreaking contributions to science, was no stranger to personal loss. Her journey, though filled with triumphs, was also marked by deep and enduring pain that she carried with grace and quiet strength. Marie's first encounter with loss came early in her life, long before she was known to the world as a pioneering scientist. She was just 10 years old when tragedy first struck her family. Her eldest sister, Zosha, who had been her close companion and confidant, fell ill with typhus, a disease that was often deadly in the 19th century. Despite the family's best efforts, Zosha's health deteriorated rapidly, and she passed away, leaving a young Marie heartbroken. This loss was a heavy burden for such a young girl to bear, and it left an indelible mark on her soul. Just 2 years later, another blow struck the Sklodowska family. Marie's beloved mother, Bronislawa, who had been the cornerstone of their home, succumbed to tuberculosis, a relentless disease that had already claimed the lives of millions. Bronislawa had been the source of warmth and comfort in Marie's life, a guiding light who had nurtured her love of learning and instilled in her a deep sense of resilience. Losing her mother at such a tender age was a wound that would never fully heal. Yet, even in her grief, Marie found solace in her studies, channeling her pain into a relentless pursuit of knowledge. As the years passed and Marie grew into a young woman, she continued to carry the memory of her lost loved ones with her. Their absence fueled her determination to succeed, to make something of herself in a world that often seemed cold and indifferent. But the losses Marie had already endured were only the beginning of a lifetime marked by sorrow. In 1906, another tragedy struck, one that would forever change the course of Marie's life. Pierre Curie, her beloved husband and partner in both life and science, was killed in a tragic accident. He was struck by a horse-drawn carriage while crossing a wet, slippery street in Paris. The news of his death was devastating, a blow that left Marie reeling. Pierre had been not only her husband but also her closest collaborator, the one person who truly understood her passion for science and shared her dreams. Together, they had made discoveries that had revolutionized the field of physics and chemistry. Without him, the world seemed a darker, lonelier place. In the days and weeks following Pierre's death, Marie was consumed by grief. She withdrew from the world, retreating into the quiet solitude of her laboratory, the place where she had always felt most at home. The loss of Pierre was a wound that cut deep, one that would never fully heal. Yet, even in the depths of her sorrow, Marie found the strength to continue her work. She knew that Pierre would have wanted her to carry on, to push forward with the research they had begun together. Marie's resilience in the face of such overwhelming loss is a testament to her character. Despite the pain that threatened to engulf her, she refused to let it define her. She continued her research, taking over Pierre's position at the Sorbonne and becoming the first woman to teach at the university. She persevered, not just for herself, but for the memory of those she had lost, her sister, her mother, and now her beloved Pierre. But the losses did not end there. As the years passed, the very work that had brought Marie so much fulfillment also took a heavy toll on her health. The long-term exposure to radiation, which at the time was not fully understood, began to manifest in various ailments. Her hands, once steady and sure, were now often bandaged due to the severe burns caused by handling radioactive materials. She suffered from chronic fatigue, cataracts, and other ailments that slowly eroded her once vibrant health. Yet, even as her body weakened, Marie's spirit remained strong. She never wavered in her dedication to science, continuing her research until the very end. In 1934, at the age of 66, Marie succumbed to aplastic anemia, a condition caused by prolonged exposure to radiation. Her passing was a great loss to the world, but her legacy, built on a foundation of perseverance and resilience, lives on. As you lie here, letting the gentle cadence of this story lull you into a peaceful state, think of Marie's journey. Her life was one of extraordinary highs and devastating lows, of triumphs and sorrows that tested the very limits of human endurance. And yet, through it all, she remained steadfast, finding strength in her love for science and the memory of those she had lost. Marie Curie's story is a reminder that even in the face of unimaginable pain, we can find the courage to carry on, to honor the past by continuing to move forward. As you continue to unwind, letting the soothing whispers of this story guide you deeper into relaxation, imagine the remarkable journey of a woman who defied the odds, who rose above every obstacle in her path to achieve something truly extraordinary. Marie Curie, already a Nobel laureate for her pioneering work in physics, would soon find herself standing at the pinnacle of scientific achievement once again. This time, the honor would be for her profound contributions to chemistry. The year was 1911, 5 years after the tragic loss of her husband, Pierre. The world had changed significantly for Marie since that fateful day in 1906. She had assumed Pierre's position at the Sorbonne, becoming the first woman to hold a professorship at the university. Her work on radioactivity continued, driven by a desire not only to honor Pierre's memory but also to further the scientific understanding of the elements she had discovered. Marie's relentless dedication to her research led to one of her most significant achievements, the isolation of pure radium metal. This was no small feat. Radium, one of the most radioactive elements known, had been identified by Marie and Pierre years earlier, but isolating it in its pure form required years of painstaking work. Using techniques she had refined over many months, Marie finally succeeded in extracting a small amount of radium, a substance so powerful that it glowed faintly in the dark, emitting energy that could be measured but not fully explained. This breakthrough was a testament to Marie's perseverance and skill as a chemist. It was also a discovery of immense significance, opening the door to new applications in medicine, particularly in the treatment of cancer. The world was beginning to recognize the potential of radioactivity not just as a scientific curiosity but as a powerful tool that could save lives. In recognition of her monumental achievements in the field of chemistry, Marie Curie was awarded the Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 1911. This made her the first person, and remains one of the very few, to receive Nobel Prizes in 2 different scientific fields. The award was a testament to her brilliance and her unyielding commitment to scientific discovery. Yet, despite this incredible honor, the period leading up to the award had been fraught with challenges. Marie's personal life had been under intense scrutiny by the press, particularly because of her relationship with Paul Langevin, a fellow scientist who was separated but still legally married. The media storm that followed was harsh and relentless, with tabloids painting Marie in a negative light, calling her integrity into question. The controversy threatened to overshadow her scientific accomplishments, and some even suggested that she should decline the Nobel Prize to avoid further scandal. But Marie, ever resilient, refused to let the scandal dictate her actions. She accepted the prize with the dignity and grace that had always defined her. In her acceptance speech, she focused not on the controversies but on the importance of scientific progress and the role of research in advancing human knowledge. For Marie, the work itself was always the most important thing, far more significant than the opinions of those who sought to diminish her achievements. After receiving her second Nobel Prize, Marie continued her research with the same passion and determination that had driven her throughout her life. She devoted much of her time to the practical applications of her discoveries, particularly in medicine. During World War I, Marie recognized the potential of X-ray technology to save lives on the battlefield. She developed mobile radiography units, which were affectionately known as Little Curies, and personally trained doctors and nurses in their use. These mobile units allowed for the early detection of shrapnel and broken bones in wounded soldiers, significantly improving their chances of survival. Marie also played a crucial role in establishing radium therapy, a treatment that used the radioactive properties of radium to target cancerous tumors. Although the techniques were rudimentary compared to modern standards, her work laid the foundation for the field of radiation therapy, which continues to save countless lives today. Marie's commitment to using science for the betterment of humanity was unwavering, and her contributions extended far beyond the confines of her laboratory. In the years following her second Nobel Prize, Marie became a global symbol of scientific excellence and perseverance. She traveled extensively, giving lectures and sharing her knowledge with the world. She founded the Radium Institute in Paris, which became a leading center for research in radioactivity, attracting scientists from all over the globe. Despite the toll that her work had taken on her health, Marie remained active in the scientific community, mentoring young scientists and inspiring the next generation of researchers. Yet, Marie's exposure to high levels of radiation over the years began to take a severe toll on her body. The very elements she had discovered, which held so much promise for humanity, were also slowly poisoning her. She suffered from chronic health problems, including severe cataracts that eventually left her nearly blind, and aplastic anemia, a condition that would ultimately lead to her death in 1934. Marie Curie passed away at the age of 66, leaving behind a legacy that continues to resonate in the world of science. She was laid to rest alongside her beloved Pierre and Soze, but in 1995, their remains were transferred to the Pantheon in Paris, a mausoleum reserved for France's most distinguished citizens. Marie Curie became the first woman to be honored with an interment in the Pantheon based on her own merits. As you lie here, letting the calm of the night envelop you, reflect on the extraordinary life of Marie Curie, a woman who defied societal expectations, who overcame unimaginable challenges, and who achieved greatness not just once, but twice. Her story is one of perseverance, of dedication to a cause greater than oneself, and of the enduring power of knowledge. Marie Curie's life was a testament to the belief that through hard work, resilience, and an unyielding pursuit of truth, we can change the world. As you settle into the gentle rhythm of your breath, let your thoughts turn to the lasting impact of a woman whose life's work continues to echo through the halls of science and beyond. Marie Curie's legacy is not just a chapter in history, it is a living force that inspires, educates, and empowers countless individuals across the globe. Marie Curie's discoveries in the field of radioactivity fundamentally altered her understanding of the physical world. Her work laid the foundation for much of modern physics and chemistry, providing the key insights that would lead to the development of atomic theory. But beyond the scientific papers and Nobel Prizes, Marie's true legacy lies in the doors she opened for future generations, especially for women in science. At a time when the scientific community was almost exclusively male, Marie Curie broke through the barriers of prejudice and discrimination, proving that women were not only capable but could excel in the most demanding and competitive fields. Her achievements shattered the glass ceiling, paving the way for women to pursue careers in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Today, countless women scientists, engineers, and researchers look to Marie Curie as a source of inspiration, a reminder that with determination and perseverance, anything is possible. Marie's influence extends far beyond the world of science. She is a symbol of resilience, of the strength to overcome adversity, and of the power of knowledge to change the world. Her life story, marked by personal loss, professional challenges, and remarkable triumphs, resonates with people from all walks of life. It is a story of hope and courage, of never giving up on your dreams, no matter how impossible they may seem. In the years since her passing, Marie Curie's name has become synonymous with excellence in science. Institutions and awards around the world bear her name, honoring her contributions and keeping her memory alive. The Radium Institute in Paris, which she founded, continues to be a leading center for research in nuclear physics and chemistry. The Curie Institutes in Paris and Warsaw are dedicated to cancer research and treatment, reflecting Marie's own commitment to using science for the betterment of humanity. One of the most prestigious scientific awards, the Curie Prize, is named in her honor, recognizing outstanding contributions to physics and chemistry. In addition, the Marie Curie Fellowships, funded by the European Union, support researchers at all stages of their careers, encouraging the kind of groundbreaking work that Marie herself would have championed. These fellowships help to foster a new generation of scientists, ensuring that Marie's legacy of discovery and innovation continues to thrive. Marie Curie's impact on society is also evident in the way she is remembered and celebrated in popular culture. Films, documentaries, books, and plays have been created to tell her story, bringing her life and work to new audiences. Her image, often depicted as a determined yet compassionate scientist, serves as a powerful symbol of the pursuit of knowledge and the enduring human spirit. Schools, universities, and scientific institutions around the world have been named after her, ensuring that her name and her contributions will never be forgotten. But perhaps the most profound aspect of Marie Curie's legacy is the inspiration she provides to those who dare to dream of a better world. Her story is a testament to the idea that one person, through dedication, hard work, and an unyielding belief in the power of knowledge, can make a difference. Marie's life reminds us that the pursuit of science is not just about discovering new truths, but about using those truths to improve the lives of others. Marie Curie's legacy is not confined to the past. It is alive in the laboratories where scientists work tirelessly to unlock the mysteries of the universe. It is present in the classrooms where students are encouraged to explore, question, and innovate. It is felt in the hospitals where patients receive life-saving treatments made possible by her discoveries. And it is seen in the faces of young women and men who look to her as a role model as they embark on their own journeys into the unknown. As you lie here, feeling the warmth of these thoughts surround you, remember that Marie Curie's story is not just a story of one woman's life. It is a story of hope, of possibility, and of the endless pursuit of knowledge. Her legacy lives on in every breakthrough, every discovery, and every act of learning and teaching. And as you drift into a peaceful sleep, let her life inspire you to dream big, to push boundaries, and to never stop seeking the answers that lie just beyond the horizon. And so, dear listener, as we reach the end of this journey through the remarkable life of Marie Curie, take a moment to reflect on the story we've shared tonight. We have walked alongside a woman who, with quiet determination, changed the world. A woman whose brilliance and resilience allowed her to see beyond the limitations imposed by society, to push the boundaries of human knowledge, and to leave a legacy that continues to inspire us all. Marie Curie's life was a testament to the power of perseverance and the unyielding pursuit of truth. In the face of unimaginable challenges, both personal and professional, she remained steadfast, driven by her passion for science and her desire to use that knowledge for the betterment of humanity. Her story is one of triumph over adversity, of the strength to carry on even when the path is fraught with obstacles. As you lie here, feeling the gentle embrace of the night around you, let the lessons of Marie Curie's life settle softly in your mind. She taught us that knowledge is a light in the darkness, a beacon that guides us through the uncertainties of life. She showed us that with courage and determination, we can overcome even the most daunting challenges. And perhaps most importantly, she reminded us that the pursuit of knowledge is not just a solitary endeavor, but a journey that can change the world. So, as you drift closer to sleep, let go of the worries of the day and allow the calm of the night to take over. Imagine the stars shining brightly above, just as Marie Curie's legacy continues to shine in the world of science. Her story is a reminder that even in the quietest moments, great things can be achieved, that within each of us lies the potential to make a difference. Now, as you prepare to rest, know that you are part of a long continuum of explorers, dreamers, and seekers of truth. Just as Marie Curie looked to the mysteries of the universe with wonder and curiosity, you too can find inspiration in the world around you. Let her story inspire your dreams tonight, and carry that inspiration with you into tomorrow. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the life of one of history's most remarkable figures. May you find peace, rest, and perhaps a bit of that same curiosity that fueled Marie's incredible journey. Sleep well, dear listener, and may your dreams be filled with light. Good night.